Brigantia Blackbird, a Blackbird's Brew. Happy Monday and welcome back to Norse Studies. This week we are examining Chapter 10 of the book Germanic Heathenry, A Practical Guide by James Coulter, titled Wights. Wights, if you will recall from last week, is a general name for spirits. So he begins with black elves, otherwise known as dwarves. These are the famed smiths and miners of myth. They are described as being short but robust build, and they are known to strongly favor beards. They are collectors of jewels, precious metals, and ancient wisdom. Sometimes they'll go so far as to curse their treasures so that any thieves will suffer for their crime. The dwarves are said to be a bit cross at times. They can be malicious when encountered. In some stories, they have abducted human women or switching out human babies with their own, which is another rendition of the changeling myth from all the other cultures that we're familiar with. So, handle with care. Next, we have the dark elves, who live in hillsides or nearby to burial mounds and graves. They are called dark elves owing to the nature of their residences. There is disagreement as to the nature of dark elves. Some simply consider them to be elves who happen to favor particular locations. Others consider them to be semi-divine spirits or even the honored dead. Dark elves are associated with healing, fertility, and harvest, and they tend to be friendly, respectful, and helpful. Then we have regular elves or light elves who are in the charge of Freyr, who presides over Alfheim. These beings are considered to be of extraordinary beauty, semi-divine. Some even appear to be venerated as deities in and of themselves. The light elves are powerful, they are wielders of magic, and they are extremely capable. They love the arts and tend to be benefactors. Now on to the Hulda folk. These are the people of the goddess Hulda, or they are mountain sprites who can be found in the forest, hills, and crags. Usually they are described as being of somewhat dainty proportions, beautiful. The Hulda folk are generally kindly disposed, but they can be a bit mischievous and tricky, but it's all in good fun. Next, there's Idis, which is a female guardian spirit who is an ancestral mother who chooses to look after her household and community after her death. She uses her power to guide, protect, and nurture. Then we have Mara, which is a female malevolent spirit who upsets the sleep and provokes nightmares. The appearance of Mara is so horrific that it's been said it can cause the death of men in their sleep. Interesting that it did specify men in the book. Then there is the Merry Wife and Nakis, which are sprites to be found in the sea, lakes, and rivers. Their homes are beneath the water, but the Merry Wives can be encountered on the beaches or in the hollows of rocks next to water. For all intents and purposes, these are the equivalent of merfolk. They are famed for their wisdom, their ability to prophesy, to heal, and their skill in playing stringed instruments. The Nikis are said to have long white hair and beards, green caps, and frequently green teeth. Yeah, not pleasant. But they can shapeshift so they can appear large or small, and sometimes they will manifest as black or gray stallions. Nakis are lovers of music, and they share the Merrowives' skill with instruments. These water sprites open their communities to the spirits of those who die by drowning. To appease these beings, offerings of bread and fruit are welcomed. Then we have Risi, or as we might know them more familiarly, giants, which are a tribe of gods that possess a raw form of power that rivals that of the Asir or the Vanir tribes of gods. Their energy is extremely primal and unpredictable. Next, we have the Unholda and Unholdo, which are the opposite numbers of Hulda folk. They are malicious, not kind. They are powerful, but they use their power for destructive ends. The Hulda folk are the natural guardians against these beings. Then we have walled wives and walled men. These are spirits to be found in the woods and the meadows. Walled wives are drawn to human homes by the aroma of fresh bread, and they will repay the gift of bread with advice, help around the home, or with a loaf of their own making. And to reject their reciprocity is to court their wrath, so don't do that. Generally, they will appear as small, elderly women who wear cloths of green moss and who carry a basket of apples. Those who help walled wives along the road, they might receive lessons in magic. Walled men, by contrast, are almost never encountered. They prefer to be left alone to their own devices deep in the forest, and they don't appreciate it when someone disturbs their peace. Think of it as a, kind of a crotchety old man who wants to be left alone in his armchair with his drink of choice and just kind of left alone from the chaos of the world. That kind of vibe. Then we have Waldskrat or Skrat, which are forest spirits. Usually they appear, kind of rough around the edges, a rustic appearance, and they are absolutely wild. They love music and dance. They will move as quickly as the breeze, and they usually live in trees or in high rocks. The Waldskrat guards the part of the woods that he deems to be his home, and he will zealously protect all things that are growing within that purview. Anything that threatens, anything that the Waldskrat cares about, that is just asking for a nasty injury or even in extreme cases, death. So this has been an interesting smattering of lore regarding a variety of spirits. I think it definitely warrants further research. My curiosity has been piqued. And for once, I have no criticism to offer about the author's presentation of the information. Next week, we'll examine the chapter about the Holy Year or the seasonal cycle of celebrations, so come back for that. In the meantime, leave your own knowledge, thoughts, experiences with these particular beings in the comments section below, or come pay me and the rest of the gang visit at Blackbird's Brew on Gilded. There's a link to join us in the description box below, and we'd be happy to have you. But that'll do it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.